Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am Monet and you are watching Life is Monet. So today we're going to talk all about my October reading plans. I am going to be participating for the first time ever in Bree over from the Lock Booktician's very own readathon called Blackoween. This is a month-long readathon where we focus on crime fiction by Black authors. Crime fiction is anything dealing with crime in any subgenre that is attractive to you. That could be fantasy, that could be thriller, that could be horror, that could be mystery, literally whatever you want it to be. Black crime fiction by Black authors is the whole purpose. And this year I have the great honor of being one of the hosts, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Let's talk about Blackoween. So I've already told you the focus of Blackoween. Today is October 1st, so you have time to build your TBR and it is going to be so much fun. This year, Blackoween is moving to a city or a town called Toulas, Parish. This was entirely created by Bree and she is so big brain and it's so cool. I'm going to put the map up here. Within Toulas Parish, there are 6 places. Each place has different prompts, different themes, different group buddy reads, and different hosts, so you can pick and choose where you want to go within Toulas Parish. So the first destination is called Bayou Haunted House, and the entire theme for this area is just anything with possessions or ghosts or anything haunted, so all the prompts are going to fit within that theme. If this is for you, head on over there, check out those prompts, build your TBR, you're going to have a fun time. The next destination we have is Noir Apothecary. This is for all the cozy girls, the girls that want to participate but aren't really like horror. That's not really your vibe. You're looking for something fun, something to cozy up to, drink your tea, drink your coffee, and just be, just be vibing. That is what you're going to get in Noir Apothecary, and all of the prompts are going to match that theme. And then we have Ruby's Crew. This is everything middle grade and YA, so if that is your jam, then this is where you are going to thrive. And then we have Joe's Library. This area of Toulas Parish actually focuses on your placement within time. So the prompts are going to focus on specific time periods such as the early 2000s or the 1970s. So you'll be reading books that were published during that time. Then we have Laissez-Faire Streetcar, and this is dealing with time manipulation. So we're going to be dealing with different realities, timelines, things like that. It's not really about your placement, but really just playing around with time manipulation. And then last, but certainly not least, is St. Treme Graveyard. And this is where I am the host for. This is the area where the horror girlies will come and thrive. I can't wait to talk about the books I'm going to be reading, as well as our group buddy pick. But again, check out Bree's video where she goes into so much more depth than I am doing right now on what to expect during Blackoween, where you can get merch, where you can buy things from her Etsy shop, and really just all the rules, because I'm going to go through just really what you kind of need to know as I build my TBR in this video. But again, if you need more details, please, please, please check out Bree's video, as well as the announcement videos from all of the other hosts that are going to be participating. Okay, so you've chosen your journey or journeys. You know your destinations in Toulas Parish, where you want to go. Now it is time to choose your role. You have an option between 3 roles in each area. Each will require you to read a different amount of books. The first of which is Amateur Share. This includes reading books that fit within 1 to 2 prompt. The second is going to be Detective Bon Temps, and this is you reading books that fit within 3 to 4 prompts. However, the ultimate goal for this year and for next year and all the years to come is for you to reach Investigator Thorough in each destination in Toulas Parish. This will be you reading books that fit within 5 to 6 prompts. And so the ultimate goal here is for you to reach Investigator Thorough's level within all the destinations in Toulas Parish. Now, you won't be able to do this within 1 year, and that is not the goal here. The goal is to make your way around Toulas Parish, checking out different Black crime fiction books by Black authors that fit within a lot of different genres, and it's going to be so much fun. So as I mentioned earlier, I am the host this year for St. Treme Graveyard, and I am ecstatic about it. Our group read is going to be All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Crosby, and I have been literally restraining myself from reading this book all year just for this month. I read Razor Blade Tears a few years ago and I really enjoyed it, but I wanted to see so much more from this author and have been eyeing his latest release all year, and I finally get to pick it up and I'm going to be reading it with you guys. I will be posting on my channel about our live show. Who's going to join me? I know Bree from the Lock Petition is actually going to be a part of my live show, so I hope to see you guys there. Maybe I'll invite some other guests so we can make it all fun, but please plan to join me to talk about all the Sinners Bleed so we can get all the tea. But let's actually build our TBR for this month. So of course, I'm gonna go big or go home. I'm choosing Investigate a Thorough for St. Germain this year. So I'm gonna be reading 5 to 6 prompts. So I have my 6-sided dice here and I'm going to roll it. Whatever number I land on, I will be choosing a book that fits within that corresponding prompt. So if I land on a number 4 on my dice, then I will be reading the 4th prompt as an option from the list. The way that this works is that if you decide that you are only reading a couple of prompts from this year and you roll a 3, but you don't like the prompt, you can actually re-roll 1 time free of penalties. However, if you decide to roll again, there is a penalty deck. You will need to add at least 1 book for every additional roll that you do from the penalty deck. That will also be linked in my description box, as well as is linked in Bree's description box from her video as well, so you guys can download the penalty deck and decide which books you're going to be adding to your TBR if you do additional rolls. However, my goal here is really not to do additional rolls, because I mean, I'm gonna have to read most of the prompts anyway because I'm aiming for Investigate a Thorough. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and we're gonna roll our dice to see what we're gonna get first. I got a number 1. So the first prompt is actually a book with Of the Night vibes. And for that, I'm going to be picking up House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. I read The Year of the Witching when it came out years ago, and I think I gave that book 4 or 5 stars. And I pre-ordered her sophomore release and have not picked it up yet. So this is perfect timing. I'm very excited to see how she does as a follow-up. I know that this one's going to be different from The Year of the Witching. I think that there's like vampires within this one, and so it's going to be so much fun. Now we're gonna roll again for prompt number 4. Prompt number 4 is to read a horror or thriller novel with body parts as a theme. And for this one, I'm going to be picking up The Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matheson. So the synopsis of this one says that after body parts are found on the banks of a river, Angelica Henley is tasked with finding the killer. There's eerie echoes of previous crimes like this one that led Henley to question Peter Oliver, aka the Jigsaw Killer, who is currently serving a life sentence for a series of horrific murders. When a severed head is delivered to Henley's home, she realizes that the copycat is taking a personal interest in her, and the victims have not been chosen at random. To catch the killer, Henley must confront her own demons. And when Peter actually escapes from prison, she finds herself up against not 1, but 2 serial killers. This, like, I don't ever really read horror, but I said this year that I really wanted to jump into my horror bag. I really wanted to be that horror girl. And that book is going to test my limits. It's going to push me, and I feel like I'm ready. I'm so ready to check that book out. Going in for our next roll. 3. We got a 3. Prompt number 3 is to read a murder-themed book with multiple POVs. And for that, I'm going to be picking up Nana by Brandon Massey. This has been taking the horror community by storm. Every time I see it, people are in love with it. And I literally downloaded it to my Kindle like a few months ago when I seen like someone recently talking about how much they loved it. And I was like, I need to read this book. And so it is just so fortuitous that all of these books that I've wanted to check out for a while are actually fitting in this TBR. For this one, the synopsis says that Monica Stevens never knew her birth mother. Raised by a strict but loving adoptive parent, she blossomed into a woman with a thriving career as a pediatrician and a family of her own. But sometimes she wondered about her origins, especially her biological mother. That is until Grace arrives, confessing to be the birth mother Monica has long wanted to meet. Grace quickly becomes an indispensable member of the Stevens household, cooking their meals, looking after the children, comforting Monica when the family dog is unexplainably killed, even tending to Monica as she falls ill to a mysterious sickness that every day makes Monica look older and older. Meanwhile, Grace is looking better, more vibrant, more youthful, more seductive, Monica's husband Troy knows something is up. He launches an investigation into the woman who demands to be called Nana and has taken over his home. But the truth is beyond their wildest imaginings. It seems that Grace has done this before. This sounds like The Skeleton Key. I watched the movie The Skeleton Key. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But I watched that movie when I was a kid, and it put me up so much in the head that, like, I have not been right since. Like, I couldn't sleep for years after that movie. After watching that freaking movie, I was so scared because that was the first movie where our hero did not win. That was the first movie that I actually saw the villain win successfully. And when those end credits came up, honey, I didn't know what to do with myself because you could not tell 9-year-old me that the story was over. That the main protagonist did not win. I was shattered, broken into pieces. But now I'm an adult. And I like anarchy. I like chaos. So we're going to see how this one goes. But that definitely gives me the vibes of The Skeleton Key. We're rolling again. Let's see what we get here. I want it to be like a really good one. A 2. Look at us go. Prompt number 2 is to read a book where a deal was made. For this one, we're going to be reading The Good House by Tanana Reeve Dew. I know that my friends in the group chat are going crazy right now that I'm finally going to pick up a book by Tanana Reeve Dew, and I am just as excited as you. The synopsis of this one says that the house that Angela Toussaint's late grandmother owned is so beloved that the townspeople in Sacagawea, Washington call it the Good House. But is it? Angela hoped her grandmother's famous magic healing could save her failing marriage while she and her family lived in the old house in the summer of 2001. Instead, an unexpected tragedy ripped Angela's family apart. Now, 2 years later, Angela is moving past her grief and taking control of her life as a talent agent in Los Angeles, and she's finally ready to revisit the rural house she loved so much as a child. Back in Sacagawea, Angela realizes that she hasn't been the only one to suffer a shocking loss. Since she left, there have been more senseless tragedies, and Angela wonders if they're related somehow. Could the events be linked to a terrifying entity Angela's grandmother battled in 1929? Did her teenage son Corey reawaken something that should have been left sleeping? With the help of Miles Fisher, her high school boyfriend, and clues from beyond the grave, Angela races to solve a deadly puzzle that has followed her family for generations. She must summon her own hidden gifts to face the timeless adversary stalking her in her grandmother's home and in the Washington woods. Tell me that synopsis did not just eat, honey. Tell me it didn't. Lie to me. I dare you. I'm excited for that one too. Like, how are these all 5-star predictions? I did not anticipate this. I'm going to be in my bag, honey. We already have 4 books. We're going to roll one more time. We got a 6. And the 6th space is actually a free space. So I'm going to use that one to fit in our group read, which is All the Sinners Bleed. That is going to be 5 books. And if I am successful, I will officially be Investigator Thorough. Let's be for real. Like, I'm definitely going to be successful. Like, have you met me? Okay, honey? Okay, so let's look back on the books that I'm going to be reading for my October Blackoween TBR. I'm going to look at the prompts because I can't remember them. For a book with of the night vibes, we'll be reading House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. For a book where a deal is made, we will be reading The Good House by Tanana Reeve Dew. For a book that has a murder theme and multiple POVs, we will be reading Nana by Brandon Massey. For a horror mystery book with body parts, we'll be reading The Jigsaw Man. And then for the free space, we will be reading All the Sinners Bleed. And boom, I'm gonna have a fantastic time in October reading all the vibes, all the horror, all the spooky body part murder mystery thrillers. We have ancestral, like generational curses. We have, you know, like haunted spirits, and we have serial killers, and it sounds so much fun. If you have enjoyed watching me build my TBR, I challenge you to build your own and to join us. Join all of the different hosts as they read all of the different group reads. It is so much fun. We are actually doing this across multiple platforms. There's someone on Twitch, there's someone on Instagram, there's someone on TikTok, honey. Join in on the fun. Thank you guys. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween. I will see you later in the month when we join to talk about All the Sinners Bleed. Thank you for watching my video. Check out Bree's video because she is fantastic for doing this, and I will see you in my next one.